When we first got to know about the opportunity, we were and still very, very excited about it for so many reasons. But I would summarize just 3 of them that would be our top priority. So the first one is the network operates in 90 countries. Many of them are more sophisticated than the Middle East and Africa, where we exist. And some of them are less sophisticated. So this exposure to multiple markets from different market sophistication would get us to move much faster and get us to understand mainly how the markets operate within the digital healthcare, of course, how the market would respond to innovation. And we would learn much more looking at other people's experience and move much faster than if we didn't get the opportunity to look at those. The second thing I would say, which is very relevant to the first one, is within those markets, our ability to connect with players, learn from them, and just be part of what they do. So I'll just give you an example. So before I came to the conference, the 2019 conference, I had the opportunity to meet many players in the market whom would have taken me like months maybe to identify, not to mention the way we respond to each other within the network. It helped us really identify. So instead of screening like 50 different players, talking to 40 or 10 of them and get one response, we just screen the players, talk to them directly, we get a response directly, and we're able to partner and learn from others much quicker. And the third one I would say is if you look at the digital healthcare system in general, you would find that the US definitely is the most advanced in that space, and giving us window to what might be our near future in the Middle East and our ability to operate within this near future is really, really priceless when it comes to this. Of course, there are so many other benefits to joining the network, but those are the 3 that came to my mind. If you look at you and me and everyone else, you would notice that we are consumers in any system. Being a consumer, we have a lot of power. We have information. We have the ability to decide. We have the ability to know what to expect, and accordingly, we would be able to set our expectations before we interact with any system. When we are consumers again, we would be able to voice in our experiences so others can learn from us. Now, the minute we stand in front of a healthcare provider, we move from being a consumer to being a patient. Being a patient, it's a completely different experience, if you want to say. Being a patient, we have less exposure, if you want, to what to expect. So, for example, if I have a headache, a severe headache, and I was vomiting, what would I do? So the first thing that would come to my mind, okay, can I call someone who would tell me what to do? Can I go to the ER where I might wait 4 or 5 hours to get seen by a professional because my vital signs are good, so I wouldn't be put on the priority list in the ER? What exactly would I do? So when we notice that information is not available for the consumers, what we call consumers, we decided to empower patients. So we decided to give this power to the patients to be able to decide. So as a patient now, or as a consumer, using Vezeeta, for example, I would be able to know which doctor is suitable for my case. Did that doctor really help other patients within those specific cases or not? Was the experience good? Is that doctor available today? Do I have, for example, is he near me, or do I have to drive? Once I drive and get to that clinic, do I have to wait a long period of time before the doctor is able to see me? So all of that wasn't possible before, and with Vezeeta it became possible. So empowering patients to be able to decide which doctor I would visit, and being able to expect something, and then once they do once they go through the healthcare system and they experience that doctor and the doctor treats them, if I'm so happy with this experience, am I able to tell other people about this experience? If there's something we can improve, am I able to tell them? So with Vezeeta this became very possible. And just to give you numbers, we managed in the Middle East to help around 3 million patients book appointments and be able to voice their experience so that others can learn. We have over 10,000 doctors who are active with open slots, of course, and we have over around 4 million bookings happening since we started. So usually you want accessibility to the healthcare system. Once you have accessibility as a patient, would you be able to afford it? So is this interaction affordable to me? And once you have access and it's affordable, is my experience good? So am I satisfied? Is the quality of care done properly or not? So those are what the healthcare system have been trying to improve forever. Now, on top of those, what I see in the next maybe 5 years or next few years in the Middle East is the ability to top those with data and top those with the power that the consumers or patients would be able to decide. So the decision making is how the decision making and the availability of information for me as a consumer or as a patient to drive how my health would improve, given of course, I'm still working with the experts who are the doctors, but am I empowered now to drive this healthcare system to help me better? Am I empowered to expect things and get things done according to this specific case that I have? This is how I see the market. So if you want, as a patient, all my touch points with the healthcare system, am I able to do it smoothly, empowered with proper expectations? So Vezeeta and companies like Vezeeta would be, I can see it clearly that this is what's going to happen in the next 5 years. So the patients would be more empowered. They have more active voice in the healthcare system through the digital healthcare system, of course. And I would see them moving back to being consumers rather than patients, where their voice does really matter.